The future of Nintendo is extremely bright. The future games for Nintendo should be bangers. I'm 100% serious when I say this. I think that the future of Nintendo is going to be way brighter than any of the competitors, being Sony, Xbox, or whoever else shows up. We have a lot of news to talk about why Nintendo is going to continue to dominate the market of future gaming and low-key gaming at the moment already. So apparently Sony went quiet as the Don't Kill the Disc petition reached 165,000 signatures just to show Sony that, yeah, we want physical media. Discs should not be a thing of the past. I mean, sure, maybe if they wanted to move on to some sort of different type of physical media, as long as it's a physical thing and a physical product that we can have and own, that's quite simply all we really want. Think of Nintendo. They use a cartridge. Like, that is so weird and so different, especially since Nintendo did go down the route of using discs for the Wii and the Wii U. I mean, even the GameCube, I know there's a little difference. It was, the smaller ones, but still, Nintendo have used cartridges many times, and they have always been fine with that. The Sony CEO also sold almost $5 million worth of stock after they announced the disc phase out, which I think goes to show that the Sony CEO knows how people are reacting and is aware of the issue, and oddly enough is going to profit from it, which I'd say is a whole nother debate. That's not really the whole topic of today's video specifically, but Nintendo is in a whole nother ballpark. Nintendo, sure, they do have a big part of their business in their games being sold digitally. They also do sell a lot of physical media. Nintendo games specifically hold their values so much more than Sony and Xbox games. Like, think about basically any first-party Nintendo Switch 1 game. You could still sell it for a pretty decent amount of money in comparison to some first-party Xbox and Sony games. And I don't mean this in the sense of like, just buying and selling all of your games, or like, you should sell your games, or that's like the only reason to have physical media. I just mean that's a plus because of reasons that I'll talk about later on in this video. But everything in the world today is pretty expensive, and if we are buying games only digitally, that means they're probably rarely, if ever, going to go on sale. And like a 10-15-year-old game is still going to cost $60, $70, or $80, whereas if you do buy a pre-owned copy of a physical game, you can get them a lot cheaper. For the most part, just depends on the game and its rarity and stuff. And this is a post from a couple of months ago talking about the digital and physical sales of Nintendo. Apparently, the proportion of digital sales compared to their total software revenue is 67.2%, which seems like they do make more money on their digital sales, but they still have a big market for physical, and I think Nintendo sees that, and I think they are going to take this as an opportunity to continue to produce physical media and give us these physical games. And guess what? We might live in a time where Xbox and Sony don't even have a section at these stores. It's going to be just Nintendo, and it's obviously going to boost Nintendo sales. So of course, physical media actually does hold game data, right? We do have the game key cards as well, but of course that's not every single Nintendo game. Like, not all of them have a game key card. It's basically for the ginormous games that just cannot be held onto a cartridge, which is unfortunate, but still, there is still an advantage to a game key card over full digital, and that reasoning is you can quite literally sell, trade, and buy pre-owned game key cards, which obviously, like I said, means you get your money back, or at least a little bit of your money back depending on what price you paid. And if you get banned for some reason or get locked out of your account or whatever, you can still play the game on a different account, right? Or a different system. It's not like it's going to be locked to that account. So if I'm playing, I don't know, let's just say Ratchet and Clank on the PS5 and I bought it digitally. If my account gets banned or hacked or I get locked out, then I cannot access that data anymore, and I have to repurchase the game again if I ever want to play it, right? Not even to mention that they could just take away your files and your games at any given moment without paying you back or downloading them again later, because if the license is dropped, the availability may cease, as it has with a lot of things. Specifically, they did this with movies and TV shows recently. That is exactly why I think Nintendo are going to double down. They're going to completely lock in and continue to give us physical media because they are still getting sales from it. They understand that people want it, and it's a thing that we should have the right to. And of course, the Switch 2 just dropped, and it still has a cartridge. So whether or not Nintendo is going to go full digital in the future, Nintendo will still do physical media for at least the next 7-8 years, or as long as the Switch 2 is still a console, right? I still think after the fact they will be doing physical media though. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the CEO of Nintendo literally told us that they want to do bigger and better games for the Switch 2 to make it worth the high price. And they are seemingly giving us really good games with these huge Nintendo Directs. big titles, really creative games, and I personally am really excited to see what is going to happen with the future of Nintendo. And basically, I just think that Nintendo are going to really take advantage of Sony's loss and potentially Xbox's loss, because I do think Xbox did announce this a while ago, or like teased that they may do this, just go full digital. Let's just all be thankful for Nintendo. I know that they have done some pretty crazy things in the past, things you could definitely disagree on. They are seemingly more and more for the people than it seems like Sony is at the moment. And with that rant out of the way, we also do have some information that a job listing suggests that Nintendo is still looking to have Switch 2 docked VRR, that the Switch 2 system features variable refresh rate when it is played in handheld mode, but sadly that feature is not yet working in docked mode. You may remember that Nintendo initially advertised VR in docked mode and on its system blurb, but they pulled that specific feature out of the listing, and now it is emerged that Nintendo could still be pursuing this in the docked mode because they have a brand new listing for a senior display engineer. Also talking about how the PS5 didn't support VR right off the bat, and it took about 2 years after the launch to receive it. Only works on modern day TVs that have an HDMI 2.1 connection, which your boy needs a new TV. My TV is like 15 years old. So I need to get myself a new TV because this would be awesome, right? Pretty good news. Like I said, Nintendo, they're just doing everything. They're trying to make the Switch 2 an even better console, and they're really pushing for it. Like, they are genuinely putting in the work and the effort to basically dominate the market. And in other news, F-Zero 99 added to Nintendo Music. They put in an hour and 44 minutes of music from F-Zero 99 with 44 total tracks. Now, this is awesome. I'm still just dying to get some sort of new F-Zero game. This is probably my number one, at least maybe top 5, number one Nintendo IPs that they haven't done anything with in a long time that I would just love to see something with. Which, let me know, what do you guys think? What is a game that you want to see be remade, recreated, or just like the IP in general be brought back? F-Zero is a must. Let me know how you feel about physical versus digital media. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.